minute to just make sure everything is connected. All right, welcome everyone. This is our open office hours. Ask me anything about self-publishing, and my name is April Cox. I'm here answering questions for you. This is something we do every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, and we do open it live for folks to join us on YouTube or here in person at aprilcox.com/events. That's EVENTS, and you will be redirected to our Zoom channel here, our Zoom meeting, where you can ask me anything about self-publishing. This is geared for beginners. It's something that I do to give back to the author community. Like you, I'm an author. I am working on book number 10, starting to make some progress on that new book that I'm doing. So 10 books, 10th book on the way. I am also the founder of Little Labradoodle Publishing and the creator of Self-Publishing Made Simple. That program is designed to help authors to be able to navigate through the plethora of things that have to be done to successfully self-publish your book. So um, today I'm here and I do have a special guest that I'm going to bring forward, Patty Lennox, and we're going to talk a little bit to start with just about the launch of her new book. And we'll get to have Patty answer a few questions about her journey and answer some of your questions as well, if you'd like. So I'm going to bring Patty here forward with me. Welcome, Patty. It's so nice to see you today. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, April and
Great to have
everybody.
you. Great to
Can
have
I?
you here.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm glad you
I
can
know
hear
you
me.
have a little one that you're going to be running back to, so
I
we'll
do.
open it up for a short, so just a short discussion and talk a little bit about your book. Congratulations on receiving the five-star reader's favorite and the fantastic accolades for your new book. So why don't you just start by introducing yourself and how you got the idea for this book? I just absolutely love it. Tell us the book, and I'll pull up and I'll share my screen on Amazon so people can actually see it as well.
Okay, well, I'm Patty Lennox. I live in Southern California. This is my second book. The first one I did with April also, and that was, I think, 2017.
Hmm.
And I intended to do my next one right after that, but things happened in life and I'm just now getting to it. Um, the idea for the book, I honestly don't remember, April.
It's
I
very, so the name of the book is There's a Frog in My Hair, and it is hilarious. And I'm just going to share the cover here. I'll share my screen here. So we see this adorable little boy with a frog hanging from his head. Tell us a little bit about the story.
Well, it's based on my son John and his dog Ruff, who used to have adventures together. We used to live out in the boonies, so there were plenty of critters for them to play with, and they did. And I can't say that there was really ever one specific frog incident that sparked this book. It was just everything that was around they would drag home and have fun with.
I love it.
Um, and it's about, for me, it's about being kind to animals and and letting them live their own life.
Yeah, I love the unlikely friendship that we saw.
Mhm.
And um, all of both of your books are humorous. You've got a great sense of humor, and the rhyming is fantastic. And you named your series Just for Fun. Tell us a little bit more about Just for Fun as far as a series and your philosophy goes.
Well, I had two kids. One of them was a super reader and one was not. And it wasn't a lack of ability, he just wasn't interested.
Mhm.
And I would try to introduce him to books that I thought were fun, but he didn't think so. And so when I started writing my books, I wanted to make sure that they were fun for kids to read. I don't have a great lesson to learn, but I think that just learning how to read
Mhm.
and absorb information is just crucial to a child's development. Um, I used to read comics
Mhm.
constantly when I was a kid, and it was great. It was wonderful for me.
And I know you mentioned too that a lot of books, are there really focusing on lessons and I want to, about certain aspects and can come across as kind of preachy. Your books totally stay away from all of that. And it truly is just for fun. The rhyming, the rhythm, the fun antics of the animals and the humans in your books just are always bringing a smile to my face. And
Good.
that's intentionally, right? Are you going to continue building more? You have anything else in the works for us that we can?
I do. I have two books I'm working on right now
Awesome.
that may complete this series because I'm thinking of another series that I want to get to work on, which will still be fun, but not the way these are.
Hmm. So,
Yeah.
and this one, there's a frog in my hair. Um, is on sale for those of you that are interested in checking it out. It had a 99-cent book launch and is still actually at 99 cents. So we it has not yet been updated to the higher price. So if you have not yet had an opportunity to check out this book, I'm just gonna show some of the things that you'll see here in the book. Let's see, we've got um, maybe I can pull up something here in the sample for us to be able to view. So based on your son and Ruff and this frog
Mhm.
and their adventure, oh, unfortunately, it didn't show as much as I'd like. So we're going to be working on getting some A+ content on this. I'm not sure. Don't think we have that set up just yet. But again, it has done a great job. The launch is really a lot of fun and has received three, is it two or three 5 stars from readers' favorite?
Two so far. We
Two
haven't
so
gotten the third
far.
one yet.
Third review on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just really a lot of fun. Um, Also wanted to give others an opportunity to ask some questions. But before I go there, I'll also just ask you if you were starting brand new and fresh, is there any advice that you have for, say, new authors that are just tuning in that would say, do this, or here's some of the things I might do differently in this situation?
Well, I can say that what I'm going to do on this next series I'm talking about is I'm going to have the whole series at least outlined before I start, because releasing one book at a time and then waiting 8 years probably isn't wise if you want to break even on this.
Right, right, right.
Um, yeah, the only thing I can say, April, is if I were just starting out, I would listen to April and do
Aw,
exactly what she tells me to do,
yeah.
which
Well, you've
which I'm trying to do now with Amazon, and should have done it years ago.
hmm.
And I'm just,
You've started to really do a lot investing in Amazon ads, and that seems to be doing really well for this book, as well as it also got your first book, which is quite old and it's been sitting around for a while. It got that selling again.
yes.
So kudos to you for that. And for those of you that are listening and potentially looking for ways to give your book more visibility for the Christmas season, definitely consider getting into Amazon ads and working through that for yourself. I know I have some folks here with me that have taken my Amazon ads class, and it's it's so good to get those eyeballs on the books. We actually had a great session yesterday with an individual actually it was, yeah, it was yesterday, with Brenda Lee, who came in and shared a little bit about her journey as well. And she raved about Amazon ads being the top three things she did. Because I said for her, I asked her a question. So, what has been most successful? Because she's sold hundreds of thousands of books. And she said, Amazon ads, Amazon ads, Amazon ads. Those top three things is what I did. So, you're in the right place. Does anybody have any comments or questions for Patty? I'm going to also look and see if we've got anything on Amazon here
And
I
I will
just
say
and
one more
YouTube.
thing, April. I have been, I have watched so many YouTubes and purchased a few books on people. There are many different Amazon strategies. Part of my problem was, I think, trying to fit into all of them.
Hmm.
But April is gaining momentum on my books, so I'm just going to stick with hers, and I think it's a wise choice.
Thank you. Well, you have really beautiful books, and I think that the cover and the fun story it with your new book is really helping to pick up the momentum there. And it's also going to also have people help people find your first book as well, because they'll be cross promoting one another.
Right.
So,
I was gonna say that your cover is adorable. I loved the font that you used and how you played around with the title,
Mm.
as well as the story is very cute. Just grabbed it and I read it over. And I loved the ending with the little door for hops. It's a very nice touch. Uh,
that almost
and
didn't make it. That almost ended up on the cutting floor, didn't it,
Oh,
Patty?
I
It
loved
did.
it. And
Yeah.
good job on the last page too, on like the QR codes and advertising your other books. It's a good step over there.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Well, I'll give credit to April on that. She does all of that for me because I'm kind of computer challenged.
That's okay.
So she helps me a lot.
Yeah. And sometimes, self-publishing has a lot of different steps from beginning to end. There's so many different aspects of it, from the writing to the editing to the illustration to the cover design, the formatting, the marketing, right, which you should be starting right at the beginning, the publishing, setting up Amazon. Oh, there's a lot to do. But if you do it in a community like what we have, and you're in a program where we're doing the hand holding for you, then you're able to get through that so much more quickly and efficiently, and especially because we do have the hand holding that you need. I'm always here to chat with you and to help you work through it. And I have an amazing team, which they've done a great job with Patty and her books as well.
Yes, they
And
have.
we should give some kudos to the illustrator. So Ramesh Ram and his Prayan Animation did a fabulous job on the illustrations.
Yes.
Praise Saffler, I believe, did the design. Oh no, Holly Moore did the design. So is that right?
No,
Who did your?
praise.
Oh, it was Praise. Okay, so Praise Saffler.
Mhm.
She and her design team do a lot of the books for my people, and Praise Saffler, praisesaffler.com. She has done a great job with
Yes.
many books. So yeah, we always want to thank the team that helped to work through this. And one of the things that we also focused a little bit on last time we met, Patty, that I think might be helpful, if it's okay with you, I would love to just share the marketing plan that we put together. And when we kind of talked about all the various things we could do as part of marketing your book. Is that okay for me to share that and kind of talk through
Yes.
the
I,
conversations we had?
I'm gonna have to go though. I hear
Yep, that's
baby
perfectly
screaming
fine.
and granddad's alone.
Thank
Um,
you for joining us and for sharing your beautiful book with us. And I'll go through some of our marketing discussions here. And thank you for sharing that.
okay, thank you for having me,
Take
April.
care. Bye,
Bye-bye,
Patty.
everybody. Good luck with your books.
And if you have some questions that you'd like to also get on the agenda for today, feel free to post those in the chat, or just, raise your hand so that I can see you on the Zoom, or just post your question on YouTube. And I'm trying to monitor both. So the one thing I'll kind of go through from the earlier discussion that I had with Patty we were thinking about what are the things that she is currently doing to market her book, and the lion's share of that truly is on Amazon with Amazon ads. So she said, I don't know what else to do, what else really is marketing. And so I love mind maps. And so I went into this mind map and I said, okay, let me just kind of give you the whole landscape of what marketing really is, and kind of outlined all the various pieces of it. So I'm just going to share that and we'll walk through some of that today. So here, are you able to see my screen okay? Thumbs up. Yes, we're good. Okay. So I I looked at obviously the things that Patty's doing already. So she's doing some advertising. I'm going to move some of these things over. So her Amazon ads are where she's doing the lion's share of her work, as I mentioned. There are also, people can also advertise on places like BookBub or Meta, um, Pinterest, you name it. Every social media platform out there allows you to do some promotion. And depending, where should you do this? I would highly recommend if you're doing advertising that you do advertising certainly on Amazon. That is the super highway where people are there with buyer's intent looking for books like yours. So if you have done a really nice job with your cover, your interior, your story is really high quality and it's ready, then turning on Amazon ads and making sure that you're utilizing keywords that are very specific to your target audience. All of that is going to help drive traffic and visibility for your book. So definitely focus on Amazon ads if your book is on Amazon and that's the primary platform that you're selling on. If you want, other things here, think about where is your audience and where are they looking for your book, and consider other places to advertise if you feel the need to do that. I know that I met an author today who is doing a lot on TikTok, and so she's been focusing on TikTok Shop and doing things through TikTok. Many of her target audience is there, but that may not be true for you. So really knowing your target audience and where they are is really helpful. I'm going to move some things over. So the other thing we talked about with Patty is that her website is in the process of being updated to add the new book and to add some lead magnets. So basically saying log in here or sign up here and you get this special thing. For Patty, what we created was a complete coloring book of all of these beautiful pictures. So beginning to end, it's a downloadable digital file that they'll get and it's the entire book with paraphrase story along with it. It's not the exact story that's in the picture book, but it's kind of paraphrased along the way. It's got some mazes and some fun things for kids to do. And if they love frogs, all the better. But that is a freebie that she's providing, and she'll let people know on social media and on her website. She'll drive people to that freebie so that she can build her mailing list. And that's something that is really important to have those purchases, and also to make sure that her website is maximized so that the search engines can find her. So those were some of the things we talked about. Social media, because Patty is also tech challenged, we talked about the fact that we were able to hire and assign somebody to work part-time on helping her with social media. They're going to be working to build a following, to grow her following, to also advertise the freebies and send people to her website. So those kinds of things will happen through the social media, and so that's already a part of of her marketing plan. Things like events, which I'll pull out here. Some people love events. Patty is not interested whatsoever in doing school visits, events, virtual visits, nothing like that. Starting to work with her to maybe dip her toe into some podcasts and getting like a reading with your kids with Jed Doherty. He's got a high quality podcast that's very popular on iHeartRadio. So there's some other things that I've, you know, told her this is a good place for her to step outside her comfort zone and really talk a little bit more about her book to get, again, borrow an audience. When you are growing your own audience, you want to look for places to borrow somebody else's audience. And if that influencer, podcaster, blogger also services or serves the same authors, the same parents, the same people that you are trying to sell your book to, then it's a great opportunity to use their platform in order to help get the word out more about your book. But in Patty's case, the events was not attractive to her. We also talked about influencers and trying to identify some influencers that might be open, maybe some children's book influencers. We talked about content to create that would attract her target audience and again be good for opt-ins and things like that. I see your hand, Pat. Go ahead. Did you have a question or a comment on what we're looking at right now?
Both a question and a comment, and it's the influencer marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a really good thing to be able to do. It's like, where do where do self-published authors find these influencers?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
and these
it's funny you should ask that because I am also trying to do more with influencer marketing on behalf of my authors. So,
Mhm.
um, obviously, people that blog about or post about or review children's books are are very desirable and looking for them and finding them. First of all, start with AI. Go to Authorpreneur AI or your favorite AI tool and give all the information that you have about your book. Upload a copy of your book if in there if you need to, so that it has all the background and then who your target audience is. It's going to want to ask all of that. And then it will help you identify some influencers to be able to reach out to. In many
Okay.
cases, they're bloggers. So let's just kind of fill this out a little bit. So, bloggers, children's book reviewers. You can also figure out of the influencers that you want to connect with, what are the hashtags that they're using? What hashtags are popular with influencers in your particular genre. And then you could search through the social media for like Instagram or whatever for these certain hashtags and look for the people that are doing these things. You can also look for organizations. You may not think of organizations as influencers, but they have a platform you can borrow. There are people, for example, with Pat, with your books, you've got books about trains? Are there organizations, museums, associations that are focused around trains or that have some influence in that area? And maybe fans of trains and things like that would be a part of their platform, maybe have subscribed to their newsletter, things like that. So perhaps an interview or a blog or a social share from them, maybe even giving them some picture books that they could do giveaways with for their audience might even be helpful. Maybe they'd be a good people to walk in and say, "Hey, this is a train museum. I have a book about Delmar the Dinky, who is a little trolley, and it's got some ties into history. And this would be a great place. Can I do a reading? Can we plan a reading? Can we plan an event?" So a lot of it is an uphill battle. You're going to build relationships from nothing. And for many of us authors, we are very much introverts, myself included. And putting ourselves out there and asking for something is not always easy. But I can tell you that with AI to help identify some things and help write pitches, help you, create documents and opt-in for things that may be attractive to your audience. There's so much more that we can do, but at some point you're going to have to go out and meet people or pick up the phone or email people to start connecting with the influencers. And hopefully that will continue to grow with each and every book that you release.
Yeah.
I hope that's helpful. Yeah. So influencers can be a lot of different people. Think about audience, think about the people who um, are reading your books, the audience you wrote for, and what kinds of things do they watch? What kinds of people do they follow? Where do they hang out? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok? So knowing where to go to find these folks is not always easy. But again, with AI assisting and helping point us in the right direction and giving us even sometimes it even gave me like, here's the list of people I want you to contact or I recommend contacting. Here's their phone numbers, email addresses, here's their locations, here's what they do and why they would be good for you. Here's a pitch because I asked for a pitch and then it said, and if these are for the ones where you're DMing, you're dropping into their like Facebook message or messaging them directly on Instagram, here's a good like little quote you can use to introduce yourself. I was like, well, that took all of the guesswork out of it for me. That was really helpful. So I think it's a great start and a great way to be able to help people learn more about your book. And think about it when you're approaching influencers, my advice would be think about it as what you can do to serve them. So, for example, if it's an influencer is blogging and doing different things, are you able to provide something for them, a free ebook download for their people? Something maybe you offer to do a guest blog post and you write it and submit it to them so that then they could take that and that's one less blog post that they have to write. So it's, how can you serve them? What can you do to help make their life easier? And why should they care about you and your book? Those kinds of the things that you should be thinking about in order to uh, create something that would cause them to take action. So that would be my advice just to get started. And even if all you do is one 15-minute session a day or a week, and just focus on in that 15 minutes, you're going to work on contacting people, messaging people, posting on Facebook, posting, actually hitting the DM and introducing yourself or resharing something that another influencer has posted that really resonated with you. And then a little DM to say, hey, I hope you don't mind. I reposted your content. I love it because, and just getting to know them and building relationships instead of just jumping into the ask right away. Sometimes just building relationships really goes a long way. Okay. Obviously, the most important thing that we need to do is build our email list. So that's part of marketing as well. Some people want to also focus on media attention and putting together a quick press release that can go to local radio and TV, newspapers, things like that. Um, for immediate release, local author hops into the bestseller list on Amazon. That was a quick, like 2-second thing that I did with AI for Patty. She's still not sure if she wants to use it or she's ready to go, like try to get local media attention, but it's there for her when she's ready. And then once you've got some local attention, you can go to national and, submit to parenting magazines. So this is a lot of work. So is the influencer marketing. So is social media. It's a lot of work. And one of the questions that I thought was so insightful from Patty, she said, if I do all these things and put all this effort in, is this going to help like elevate times 2 or 3 what I'm already getting from Amazon ads? And I thought, wow, that is really insightful. She's seeing something that's working and she doesn't want to put a ton of effort in. So a lot of these other things just aren't right for her. Where other people might say, I I have very little budget for Amazon ads and I don't have the knowledge yet, but I am people. I can do things for free and put some sweat equity into my marketing. And then that can help you to get a little further with your marketing efforts on your own terms. So these things are not right for everybody. So you have to kind of evaluate what are the things that you want to do? What is the right marketing plan for you, where you want to spend your time, your energy, and what lights you up. And for example, going to events and setting up booths and selling at a market really lights up some people. And others, like me, it just drains me. And I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a backache for a week. I can't constantly be carrying things around, nor does an introvert like me really flourish in that environment. So that's the kind of thing that I wouldn't normally sign up for. So you have to evaluate, what you don't have to do all the things is my comment is don't do all the things, but know all the things that you could do and then pick the ones that work for you. Maybe push yourself outside of your comfort zone a little bit, even if it's just dipping a toe a little bit outside in an area that you've not done much with so that you can grow, but also pick some things that are really comfortable for you, that you feel good with, and that will work well for you. So, the other thing I wanted to mention that would be easy for everybody to do, and I think you all should be doing it, is promotions. So Patty and I, um, applied for a BookBub feature deal. And BookBub is amazing. If you've not claimed your author profile on BookBub, go ahead and do that. Fussy Librarian, Free Booksy, these are all places that you can sign up and they have their own marketing. They have their own email list, 600,000 people from on the Fussy Librarian at the last time I looked. And a percentage of them have said that they're interested in children's ebooks. So for the people that have signed up and said, yeah, I want to know about deals on children's ebooks, they're going to get this email. But you promote with them. BookBub is if Fussy Librarian can get you, say, 600 downloads, BookBub, you could look at 10,000, 20,000 downloads. It's that much of a different animal altogether because it's so huge and the results that you get are really huge, but not everybody gets selected. So you have to go claim your author profile, apply for it, and if you get rejected for this time around, or I should say not selected, don't worry about it. There's way too many people applying, and only a certain number of them can be promoted that particular month. So you just keep coming back 30 days later, apply again. And the one thing that I said to Patty as we were putting it together, there's a comments field in that BookBub, and it says, it just comments optional. And I said, let's really sell why this book at this time would be the right selection for them. And so we were able to do that and it got selected. So now she's gonna a BookBub deal happening on the 20th of October. And we'll report back and let you guys know how that worked out for her and whether those downloads and those eyeballs turned into additional sales for her paperback as well. So we'll give you a little bit more feedback on that as we go. So that was a lot. I know that I wanted to kind of give you guys an outline of some of the things I've been working on with Patty. And so feel free, go ahead, Pat. I see your hand is up. Go ahead and ask your question.
What point in the publishing process should someone submit to Fussy Librarian?
I usually do it once on the launch week of my print books. And then if you're part of KDP Select, which is Amazon's program, where you allow them you're exclusive with them for 90 days, then they're giving you 5 days to promote your book. So if you're going to have a free day, so you can make your book free 5 days within that 90-day period. So for Patty, we'll do it for a couple of days for this October promotion. Then we'll do it again in November and again in December, early enough in December so that it gets more eyeballs on her beautiful book before Christmas, season closes down. And then it's going to renew for another 90 days and she'll get 5 more days. So the Fussy Librarian is the one that I typically use with my children's book authors to like every month to continue to get the eyeballs on the book so people don't forget about it. So, and it's only $25. So it's not a lot of money. If you can spend $25 a month to get a promo, and maybe you use Fussy Librarian once and then you use Free Booksy another, they have slightly different people on their mailing lists, and just apply for that BookBub deal and see if you can get that. But there's like 80 different places you can go to promote your free ebooks. So use others. If you feel like you've kind of already gotten really good downloads and then things start to dwindle down, then you can also try one of those other sites as well. Okay. All right. Questions? Let me just check YouTube real quick here. So Tony says, Tony Horror Writer has joined us on YouTube. Welcome, Tony. Nice to see you back again. He says, I like that list. Wow, $25 is not bad for 600 to 1,000 downloads. That's exactly right. Now, the $25 is for children's books. So you might find that with your downloads, your genre, you might pay a little bit more. I know really popular ones like horror or things like that, as well as romance, may cost more than just the $25. But for children's books, and most of my authors do fall along those lines, it's just $25. And there's a lot that you can do with some of these free ebook places as well, where you can promote your ebook if that's where you want to go and just get more eyeballs on the books. When we interviewed, and I will post the replay of my interview yesterday with Brenda Lee, she also talked about contacting people who are in Facebook groups and letting them know that her ebook is free for that day. One group of teachers, for example, educators in a Facebook group, where she said, "Hey, I've got a free ebook for download, and it's going to be free on these 2 days, and would love to get your feedback and just asking for a review." Your assessment of it, and here it is. It's free for you, but also letting them know that what the benefit is. So it's not to benefit you. It's because it's a great fun read. It's with Patty's book, it's a fun animal story. It's humorous. It's rhyming, and kids are going to love to read it. The rhyming also helps them learn to read because of the rhythm and the rhyming. So they're focus on the benefits of what your book can do, and mention that it's free for a couple of days, and you would just love it if they could download it and provide a review in exchange. So hopefully some of these Facebook groups or influencers that you might contact will be more than willing to download and to give you some feedback or some reviews along the way. Okay. Let me see if I've got anything posted here for questions. Having a problem. There it is. Okay. So Gail, welcome, Gail, says the National Railroad Museum is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's a great one for you, Pat. And that's another thing that, these kinds of groups and these sessions where people can help one another. I had no idea about the National Railroad Museum being in Green Bay. So I'm not the one that knows all the answers. You guys know a lot more answers than I do, specifically about your location and your area. National, yep, got the even the link for it for you, Pat. And Pat, you mentioned you like going to craft fairs and farmers markets. How's that worked for you?
Very well. And
Mm-hmm.
farmers markets not as well as craft fairs. And
Mm-hmm.
and I will admit, lugging a lot of this stuff around can be tiresome.
Yeah.
And you do have to maybe be there from maybe 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy it, and I think it's a good way to sell my books. I
Yep.
think you're better off if you could be at a craft fair in a school.
Ah,
If
yes.
a lot of schools don't let you have craft fairs or don't host craft fairs anymore, so they don't want people in the schools,
Hmm.
even on a Saturday. But I've done well at craft fairs, very well.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. Um, Anyone else have any unique marketing ideas that you've used that we haven't talked about, or any questions about marketing or anything else from the self-publishing side that I can help with?
Another thing to mention too, to try to get into are libraries. And what
Hmm.
I did is I didn't, libraries are local bookstores. I didn't give them a copy, but a lot of times I'd find out who's in charge of children's book acquisitions
Hmm.
and either email them or call them and send them a one sheet or a sales sheet. Or if they really wanted to know what the book looked like, send them a low res, PDF.
Right.
And if your book is on Ingram or Baker and Taylor, whatever, um, they'll go through those. And I've had success with the libraries picking up my books.
Hmm. That's a great idea. I had a meeting earlier today with Samantha Pillay, who has a number of books about girls, and it's kind of girl power, um, from when I'm a surgeon to when I'm an entrepreneur. And most recently came out with a book called When I'm Santa's CEO. And it's a very fun Christmas book. And we were going into her ads and going into her marketing plan. And I noticed that her book was number one bestseller. So I said, that's great. What happened here? And this is something a little new. She had somebody from an Amazon ad go in and purchase 100 of her ebooks at once. So I thought, why would somebody want 100 ebooks? And she said her guess is that she thinks it's either for a school or for a library. And so they decide to buy a certain amount of them so that they have them to gift to others. So if a teacher is, using your book for her classroom, she might want to, buy 25 copies of the ebook at 99 cents and maybe get some supplemental things off of your website. Schools, libraries, they buy ebooks at a discount and they have to buy multiple of them because they can't just have one copy and share it with everybody. So that just got the light bulb going off, like, okay, who do I need to talk to? Who needs to buy ebooks in bulk? Because when we're launching, if we can find those people that need that and would benefit from that, that's a great way to get visibility for your book and get that number one bestseller very quickly through bulk ebook purchases. So, something to think about. Let's see. All right, we have about 10 more minutes. Does anybody want to pick a different topic to switch over to? Any other topics, questions about self-publishing that I can answer for you?
I'm actually curious to know if anyone is have, I don't know who does Amazon ads in the group, but if anyone else has like, we are in October. I usually see like these peak of waste more money on Amazon ads around November
Mhm.
because like Christmas is coming, everything is more expensive and so on. But the last month and this month, I actually had a huge like loss on the return. Did anyone else experience that in October, in September and October?
So I've seen, and I do manage a number of accounts with my authors, and so I saw a big dip from the summer was really slow with sales, but then also I thought it would start picking up around August, September, and I didn't see the pickup that I usually do in those 2 months for sure. I do have a number of authors that are doing really well with their books at that time, and they have seen, a lot of increased sales. Um, so it may be worthwhile to take a look at what you're doing. Are you saying, Kelly, that they were selling really well prior to that, and then you just got a big dip?
No, I usually just like I've never done like amazing, but I kind of usually do like a break even. So I
Hmm.
spend a bunch and then I sell a book and it kind of like breaks even by the end of the month. If
Hmm.
I owe anything or if I get anything from it, it's like maybe $10. So it's not like a huge deal.
Hmm.
Um, but the last 2 months it has been spending a ton and selling pretty much nothing. And I have been like adjusting, optimizing, killing the bleeder. So like what I always do every
Yeah.
month. So
Hmm.
I'm impressed with the fact that it doesn't matter what I cut, it doesn't matter what I raise. It is not picking up at all. So I'm just
Okay.
like almost killing all of my campaigns.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is with Amazon ads, and I'll let others weigh in as well, but with Amazon ads, they kind of go through this cyclical thing where you start with very little impressions and then it climbs and grows and then it kind of goes to a peak period where it does really well, especially if you're trimming the words that are not working and you're continuing to double down on the things that are working, so you're going to start doing well, and then it starts to level off and then starts to go down. So you may be at that point where you're going through a downward trajectory where you need to like stop those or let them run if they're going to make a sale here and there, but spin up some new ads, take the best of your keywords, the best of the products that are selling well, and spin up a brand new ad that takes the benefit of everything you've learned from the other ads and puts it into a new one. And don't forget to pull new terms too, because there are some, like I'm just starting to set up or go deeper into Christmas ads for a couple of my authors. And I went back and looked at what worked last year for Christmas, what were the better sellers, what words really converted well. But I also did a fresh pull of new Christmas books, new things that are out there that are also missing from the list from last year. So things that have happened since then that we also might want to incorporate into new ads for this year.
Do you have access as a mastermind or only with the new course?
So my Amazon ads, I had a separate Amazon ads course, and I've been doing some things around, with those folks to learn more about Amazon ads, and I also manage some of their work through coaching hours and things like that. Kathleen is going to be just starting soon. I'm so excited to get into her new book and her ads. But if there is
Not as
demand,
excited as I am.
if there is demand, I'll do a deep dive for the mastermind on Amazon ads. And we'll do something that will help, especially because we are pulling up to the holiday season. Um, what I'll do, I'll commit to that and look at this for next week from 9 to 10 Eastern. In, Kelly, you're going to be after me when we close out here at 9. You're going to take over and do some design stuff. So I'll commit to coming back next week for the 9 to 10 Eastern time slot and doing a deep dive into some Amazon ads, Christmas terms, Christmas tips for your ads, and things like that. And I'll do a deep dive there and invite my ads folks over as well.
Thank you. I just like I'm beyond the basic and
Mm-hmm.
like it's a hard spot to find
Yes.
information on. Thanks.
Yep. I would absolutely help with that. Yep. No problem. Go ahead, Pat.
Comment and a question. I have taken and am currently taking April's Amazon Ads course, and it's great. It doesn't matter if it's for children's books or horror books or fiction, nonfiction, no matter what. It teaches you not only how to create an ad, because they can be fairly simple. It's how do you manage them and how do you read all these statistics? How do you know what terms are bleeding you money and what you need to do? And I would be very interested in next week you focusing on what we could add to our ads for Christmas.
Yes.
My question is, at what point for authors should you start ramping up your bids for Christmas ads?
Yeah. So I wouldn't automatically just start really high. So if you're running ads now and you've got some ads that are showing very little impressions, that's an indicator that you probably need to bid higher. For example, for Christmas books and things like that, you are going to see your bids are going to go up. One sign that you need to go up higher is that you're just not getting any impressions. So an impression is not necessarily an eyeball on your book. It is your book appeared somewhere on the Amazon page that somebody was looking at. So don't feel like, oh, I got, 10,000 impressions and I only got 10 clicks, because that's actually average performance. So it's not like 10,000 eyeballs. Believe me, you have to have for every 1,000 impressions you have, you'll likely get one click. And if you're overperforming on that, that's wonderful. You're getting some, but if you're not seeing any impressions, it's a very good indicator that a couple of things could be happening. Number one, your keyword terms and the metadata for your book may be, not really complementing what the keywords that you're trying to run ads for. So if Amazon doesn't think your book really applies to the terms that you've put out there for your ads, it's not going to give you the impressions. It also could be an old ad that's kind of petering out. That's another thing that would lower your impressions, or a new ad that just doesn't have a high enough bid. So when your question, sorry, Pat, I'm going a roundabout way of answering it, is if you're starting to see your things that were working well and you were getting impressions, and then all of a sudden you're not getting impressions anymore, it could be because the bids and the number of people bidding higher and higher and higher are going up because we're approaching the holiday season and your bids haven't followed. So you could be losing some of that traffic due to a low bid. Same thing with starting early. I've seen some of the gurus mention, oh, you can start with 4 cents, 6 cents, 13-cent bid. You can sit there all you want with a 13-cent bid and you're not going to get very much traction. So you really have to go in. I would say at this time of year, I would say nothing less than say 72 cents is going to do well. You may get lucky and put out a 50-cent bid. And maybe if it's a term that's not very popular, it has like a small niche and there aren't a ton of people running ads to it, maybe you'll get lucky and get some traction. But it doesn't happen very often at this time of the year. But I'm starting to really see sales for Christmas books pick up. I'm starting to see more and more of benefits from really actively managing your ads. So this is a good time of year to get in and start really working on adjusting things. And I will say that, some books will never do well on Amazon ads. You'll try it and it just won't do well. And it's not necessarily any rhyme or reason. It doesn't mean that your book is bad. It just means that it's one marketing avenue that doesn't really work well for you. So, you have to find out whether or not it's going to work. Make sure you know how to do ads, how to run them, or have somebody help you who can run some for you. But you do need to give it the effort and then see what happens as you move forward. It can take a good month or two before you really start seeing the traction. Did that answer your question, Kelly? So knowing that it could take a month or two to see traction, if you're not already thinking about and running ads, do it as soon as you can, because you need, if you're expecting ads to help drive Christmas sales, holiday sales, then it's almost too late. It's almost too late. You really need to. I start seeing Christmas terms and things like that pick up around August, September. And now I'm starting to see that October's coming. We're seeing a lot more traffic to those words. Okay. All right. Hi, Shanita. Welcome. Do you have any questions for me, my dear?
Yes, Hello. I
Hi.
just have a quick show and tell, because
Oh,
I've kind of stalled up in my illustration process. So if
okay.
it's okay, I'd love to just
Yeah.
share and
And
get
you have
some
a beautiful assistant here.
Yes, my daughter
Hello
Jen.
there. So yeah, go ahead. You want something, you have something that you want to share and we can jump in and take a look at things together.
Yeah, I found it really helpful on the last group call where I shared, I got some good feedback on the sample spread from Nejla, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find where I have, trying to share
Sure.
my
Yeah, feel free.
downloads folder. Let's see.
I'm also just quickly scanning the YouTube and
Oh, I think I have to open the file before I share it, probably. She redid the spread for letter C and D for the ABC book,
mhm.
and I gave all the feedback. All right, here we go. Sorry, I only shared. Can you see this now? I'm gonna maximize it, and
Let me see.
is that showing?
Okay. It is starting to come up. It's just a black screen right now, though. Oh, there we go. Now it's coming together. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so just curious to know what you think about that. I think before it was like the girl wasn't very courageous looking, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we were just trying to like rework the
Mm-hmm.
image. We got rid of some kids, tried to make it look more magical. But
Yeah.
it was really important that she looked courageous. So just curious what you guys think.
So she's kind of standing on that little rock,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of, I would, hmm, I think the rock is too small. You know, like when I said put her on a rock, like I wanted her head like way above others to say, like, hey, look at me. I'm leading here. I'm going to
Much
be
taller,
courageous.
yeah.
I'm going to step up and do something for others. So she put her on a rock, but it's a very little itty bitty rock. So I would want to see something more natural, but I like that their bodies are turned towards her and looking at her, which is very common. What you'll see in a meeting room or anything is you take a look at where everybody's looking and where their bodies are faced, and that's the person they think is in charge. So I kind of like that body language, all turning and looking at her. Anybody else have any feedback? I love the colors and I love the illustration. It's just some minor tweaks to like
Mm-hmm.
for her to be feeling, courageous. It's more of a how do we spell courageous or how do we like show it in an image? It's not an easy thing. Anybody got ideas?
She won't. Yeah.
I guess one of the like the main things on illustration that we see when we're working on um, feelings or emotions or expressions is not only like the scene, but also the angle and the body body language itself. So
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
uh, when you see like courageous or brave, you want the chest more. You want maybe like a little hint, like she's like just she's kind of like electing herself. It is like more like a grounding tool than
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm courageous too. So like the position of her body can tell a lot, and the angle that you're getting it can get a lot. So like most of the superhero figures that you're gonna see
Their
it kind of like
chest
a
is
little
out.
bit, yeah.
Hands on
So like
hips
it makes
and
them look
yeah,
big.
power
Does that make sense?
poses.
Another thing that you can maybe play around as well is some people they tune down the background a little bit and make the character a little bit more vibrant in colors, so they
Mm,
stand out more. Uh, the rock thing that you mentioned is also good, but you can even like do that by approaching the camera, like getting the camera closer to the characters and showing less characters around her and her more of her, like a
yeah,
zoomed version of her. So yeah, I think that's like my main thoughts of it.
great advice.
Yeah, thank you for that. Does it seem like she's blending in with the background? I guess there's so much like color happening that
Mhm.
she's kind of getting lost in it versus her really standing out um in
I
the
think it's
image.
okay. Mainly, like if you match the heart, or like I don't know if that's supposed to be a separate scene, but if that's supposed to be the same scene, the heart could match her. So what you can kind of like tie them both of them together. If not, I would make the heart a different color, like maybe whitish, like just so that she pops more. So it depends on your what you're trying to do.
I
Uh,
see.
I I would say that the phrase above her head is a little tiny bit hard to read.
Oh yeah, that's
It's,
totally
yeah.
hard to read. Yeah, that needs like
Mhm.
a bubble or something. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
And even if you put a bubble there, even the bubble can tell the reader she's brave. So like if you put
Mm,
like a common bubble, it's just common phrase, right? But if you put like a bubble with a little bit of spike or movement in there, it's
hmm.
gonna call the catch your eye as a reader, and like, oh, she's like confident now. So like even these
Mhm.
kind of like nuances can pop her courageousness more.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that she's holding the ball because that tells me like she's
She's
setting the
in charge.
rules. She's the in charge of the game, which is fine. And maybe and I didn't even see the I'll be team captain above her. So maybe that would have helped. Maybe putting it in like a word bubble so
Yeah.
that we see me, I'll be team captain, like coming from her as a word bubble, you know.
You can also play with the ball. So like she
Yeah.
could be holding the ball with both hands, like ha, yay, like as a trophy kind
I
of
love
thing.
that. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you
So
for
this
that.
this seems to be a really good time to pass the baton from me to Kelly because at the 9 o'clock hour, I'm a little late, but Kelly takes over and does design feedback and things, and this is a perfect way and reason why Kelly's expertise goes so well here. So I'm going to bring Kelly forward, and I'm going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and come back again next week. We'll do a little bit on high level Amazon ads in the 8 o'clock hour. And then we'll do a deeper dive and share more for the mastermind group in the 9 o'clock hour. So I'll say goodbye and I hope you come back again and we'll continue to share and get these questions answered to help make self-publishing simple. Take care. And everybody that's here and wants to continue along with Kelly, just hang out with us here and I'll pass the baton.